Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Now today we got a special review here, Wrestlemania The Legacy Box Set, which consists of the first 15 WrestleManias on VHS. We'll get to the actual tapes in a minute, but just want to give you a quick overview. Before we do that, take some time, subscribe to the channel, and I got this about, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago now. I picked it up on a local ad on the internet, which in Canada it's called Kijiji. It's like online classified ads. Paid about, I think it was $40 for it, which I always wanted this set, and $40, that was a hell of a deal for me, because when I was younger, I would see these things going for anywhere between $60 to $80, even sometimes $100. Of course, they also had the set before this, which was dubbed the Collection, which had the first, I think, 13 WrestleManias. It had the classic, orange logo, which looks similar to the WrestleMania 12 logo. But when I originally bought this, it came with this instead of WrestleMania 12. And later on, I had to buy WrestleMania 12 separately, which is kind of weird. I don't know what the person did with it, but this is also a pretty rare tape to have, too. So, the best of WrestleMania 1 through 14. So, let's get into it, guys. If you read on here, it says the first event at Madison Square Garden in '85. To today, relive excitement and extravagance that has become a tradition, the Legacy. And I really like the lettering on here. This thing is pretty big. So on one side, we got a shot of McMahon, Goldust Piper, Undertaker Kane, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Rock and Shamrock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not sure what happened to the back. I bought it like this, but, I'm pretty sure this is all supposed to be closed in. I think they might have damaged it and just cut it off, but on the other side here, we got a shot of the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. Andre and Hogan, the Fabulous Moolah, Bret Hart and Yokozuna, Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. So they really did a good job on the packaging on this. Of course, it is fairly damaged, and I don't know how you could damage this thing like they have, but there's paint all over it. I don't know if they were painters or what, but it is fairly damaged, which is pretty sad. But on one side, we'll remove the box, the lid, we'll call it for now. One side, we got the classic logo, which I love. And the other side is the scratch logo. So, we're just doing the box now. So, on the one side here, it has different superstars' names and different dates and things. Like we got the WrestleMania 12 date in the March 20th, 1994, which would have been WrestleMania 10. And the other side is fairly similar. You got the first date and location. We got WrestleMania 3's attendance and, several other superstars and stuff like that. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's pop these tapes out and get a closer look at things. So, I got all the tapes out now, guys. We're going to go through all the tapes, but first, the thing I really like about it here is you know, on the sides or spines, whatever you want to call it, we do have, you know, the Roman numerals throughout all 15 tapes, 1 through 15 in Roman numerals, as well as the top of the boxes, which is, you know, pretty cool, because when you first open the box, you're going to see the which numbers they are and whatnot. So, yeah, let's try to buzz through these as quickly as possible. There are 15 tapes. I'm not going to go through, you know, every match that's on the card. I'm not going to read off everything that's on them. Just going to give you, you know, my basic highlights and what I like, what I don't like. So, let's get into it, guys. Let's run through the first 5. WrestleMania 1, of course, the original WrestleMania. The thing I really like about these Legacy set here, I guess, is the artwork on the covers and on the back. You know, it has the location, the arena, and the date. Very important. I really like that, how they done that. Of course, this was the very first WrestleMania. Lot of celebrity involvement. Lot was at stake at this WrestleMania here. So the main event was Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff against Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. We also had Cyndi Lauper and Wendy Richter, Andre the Giant and Big John Studd in a $15,000 body slam contest. Awesome. You know, pretty cool WrestleMania to go back and watch every now and again. All the tapes are fairly similar, and this is what I was talking about here, the collection, which was the first 13 WrestleManias. All the tapes say this except for WrestleMania 12, the one I had to rebuy, which actually has Legacy on it. And I don't know if they just had, you know, a bunch of extra tapes that they didn't, you know, sell from the collection days, and they just repackaged it. Because a lot of these tapes have a copyright of 1998, which is strange because, you know, this thing came out in 99 with WrestleMania 15 included. So, WrestleMania 2, a fairly basic cover. The first and only WrestleMania to be covered in 3 different locations. You know, we got all 3 locations there and the date. And this was, you know, most known for Hogan and Bundy in the steel cage, and the NFL versus WWF Battle Royal. Pretty cool. You know, also Piper and Mr. T in a boxing match. No! You know, if it's one thing, it's another here on the... You know, dropping old tapes is never a good thing. So, WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant in the Pontiac Silverdome. Sunday, March 29th, 1987. It's not the original poster, but it's really cool. You know, they did had to shrink things down for these tapes, but, you know, I really love this set. Of course, we had the Hart Foundation versus the Bulldogs, Ricky Steamboat versus the Macho Man, and Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. So very cool. One of the you know, most well-known WrestleManias, WrestleMania 3 in the Silverdome. So WrestleMania 4 and 5 go hand in hand together. Of course, WrestleMania 4 from Trump Plaza, both of these were. We would see the crowning of a new champion in the Macho Man, winning the tournament and becoming the new World Wrestling Federation champion. We also had Demolition against Strikeforce, which was Tito Santana and Rick the Model Martel. So, pretty cool. And the Mega Powers explode. A year-long build for this one. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage in the main event for the championship. You guys can pause if you'd like to read the descriptions, because I'm not going to go through each and every match. There's no match listings on these, which doesn't really bother me. But, you know, for the second straight year, they were at Trump Plaza. We did see Hogan and Savage in the main event, and Warrior versus Rick Rude. We had a Piper's Pit segment, and Andre the Giant versus Jake the Snake there. So this is what I was talking about. This paint all over these tapes. Not good. So WrestleMania 6, the Ultimate Challenge from Toronto Skydome. Very cool. So we had the Twin Towers facing each other. We had Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire versus Macho Man and Sherry. And of course, Hogan Warrior. Title for title. WrestleMania 7. Pretty underrated WrestleMania. I always liked WrestleMania 7. Hogan versus Slaughter in the LA Sports Arena. We had Mr. Perfect and Big Boss Man. Savage and the Warrior in a very good match. Jake the Snake and Rick the Model Martel in a blindfold match. And we had Hogan and Slaughter for the championship. A bloody Hulk Hogan saving the day. And another very good WrestleMania. WrestleMania 8 from the Hoosier Dome. We would see Ric Flair, who won the Royal Rumble that year, to become the champion, winning the vacant title after this Tuesday in Texas and all that stuff. But I never liked the fact that Hogan and Sid main evented this. I just wasn't a fan of that. I really thought that the title deserved the main spot at this time. So we had Undertaker and Jake the Snake in a pretty good match. Hogan and Sid and Randy Savage winning his second WWE Championship. We also had Bret Hart and Roddy Piper in a pretty good match for the IC title. Actually, a very good championship match there. WrestleMania 9 from Caesar's Palace. I don't think this event's as bad as people think it is. I actually enjoy WrestleMania 9 quite a bit. You know, Shawn Michaels and Tatanka opening up. And the WWE changed hands twice at this time, with Yoko defeating Bret, and then, you know, minutes later, Hogan coming in and defeating Yoko like nothing. And Hogan would end up dropping the title at King of the Ring that year. You know, we also had Mr. Perfect and I think Lex Luger. We had Money Inc. against Hogan and what the heck's his name? Oh, Brutus. Next up, WrestleMania 10. Probably one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time for this time period. You know, up to this point, WrestleMania was rolling, and I really love this WrestleMania. It really got things going. 10 years in the making. So this WrestleMania is definitely known for a few things, with the IC ladder match, Shawn and Razor. We had Lex Luger versus Yoko and Bret Hart defeating Yoko. We also had Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Very good WrestleMania. WrestleMania 11 from Hartford, Connecticut, back in 1995. Probably one of the worst WrestleManias, but it does have some redeeming qualities. For one, I don't like the fact that LT and Bam Bam main evented it. Shawn Michaels and Diesel in a fairly good match. Jeff Jarrett and Razor Ramon for the IC title. Pretty bad WrestleMania overall. This one pretty much takes the cake on most people's lists. WrestleMania 12, another underrated WrestleMania. Of course, we had the famous Iron Man match between Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. The Hollywood Backlot Brawl between Goldust and Roddy Piper. Big Daddy Cool Diesel against The Undertaker. Ultimate Warrior versus Triple H. This WrestleMania is actually pretty packed. WrestleMania 13, another pretty bad one. WrestleMania Heat. Probably one of the best matches in a WrestleMania history. Austin against Bret Hart in a submission match. And Undertaker winning the championship against Psycho Sid. Not much else going on here. We did have that Chicago street fight against the Nation and the LOD. Not much going on here. WrestleMania 14. As time goes on, I think this one will move up in people's lists as a greater WrestleMania. This is a pretty good WrestleMania that people don't talk about too much. Austin and Michaels for the championship. Very good WrestleMania. Also, Undertaker and Kane in a great match. Triple H and Owen Hart. We had The Rock versus Ken Shamrock. We had the LOD winning a battle royal. A pretty packed WrestleMania from Boston this year. And last but not least, WrestleMania 15, the Ragin Climax. I actually really like this cover. This is around the time where, they started really packing the covers. We had, several different superstars in here. This is the middle of the Attitude Era, and it's a decent WrestleMania. It's not the best by any means, but it is a fairly decent show. It's not good or bad, but we had The Rock and Stone Cold in their first WrestleMania bout. The Big Show versus Mankind. Triple H versus Kane. Shane McMahon versus X-Pac in a very good match. Shane McMahon definitely started surprising everyone around this time. So that was from Philly, We had, Philly, Boston, and Chicago 3 years in a row. So there we have it, guys. The WrestleMania Legacy set. Take some time. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this set. If you got this in your collection, comment down below. Let me know some of your favorite memories from the first 15 WrestleManias. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace!